Hey everybody, welcome back to Conscientious Omnivore. My name is Pal. Today might be kind of a funny video, but in a way I'm gonna be a little bit serious as well. A while back I posted a video talking about how I built a firewood storage shed from scrapped and reclaimed wood that I got from a roof that I was renovating for a job. And basically I got an awesome comment from a long-time viewer and subscriber, Leon, and he talked about how I have enough wood in there now stored that I could make wood milk for years, that it will last me years. And I thought, wood milk, what the heck is this? I haven't even heard about it. And you know, as people who have been following the channel for a while will know, I kind of fell off of social media for quite a while. I was pretty much out for about a year, so I had not even heard about this. I hadn't been watching any kind of like vegan or anti-vegan content on YouTube. And I want to show you guys this because I just looked into it, and the level of absurdity and really kind of like, in a way, I think copycatting by the milk industry, the dairy industry, to try to paint, you know, plant-based milks in a bad way. It's just more proof in my mind that they're just incredibly desperate and really like struggling, and basically at this point trying pretty much anything they can to, you know, try to get some kind of like buzz or, you know, some kind of like social media thing happening for them, you know, the way that you know, veganism has had in the past few years, and basically shut them down in every turn they've done with Februdairy or other, you know, attempts at marketing. Back in the day when I was younger, we had the Got Milk commercials, and there was like the milk carton playing basketball saying, if you need D, you need me, you know, all this kind of stuff, and just ridiculous, you know, ad campaigns that they've had pretty much for as long as I remember. But it seems like they are now, you know, raising that to the new level. So let me show you guys what I'm seeing here on the screen. And basically they have this website up called drinkwoodmilk.com, and it's a very obvious like parody site, basically ridiculing plant-based milks as far as I can see, and I think as far as any logical person looking at this would see. They're basically saying it's 100% all-natural wood milk, and then you scroll down or click learn more, and they tell you that it's all natural. Wood milk is made from 100% all-natural wood. It's really organic. It's biodiverse orchards is where they get the wood from, and then they tell you literally that it's zero nutritional value because wood milk is 100% fake, and as you know, fake things can't be nutritious because they're fake. It's like, okay, so they've kind of like at this point, you know, shot their own parody down before you've even had a chance to think whether or not this is serious or not. They've pretty much told you that it's fake, and then at every turn they basically tell you that it's fake. So you know, they basically have like these little things here: frequently asked questions, everything you need to know, will it cause paper cuts in my mouth? Yes and no. Drinking wood milk is an experience unlike any other. You'll probably feel a little tingling sensation and a small pinch in your mouth. This is nothing to worry about. It is simply your taste buds awakening. Do I have to worry about getting termites in my tummy? The short answer, no. The long answer, maybe. You know, is wood milk real milk? Of course not. Only dairy milk is real milk. So they can't even like, it's like a you know, like a stand-up, you know, comedian who can't get through their joke before they like start laughing at their own punchline. Like they don't even finish the punchline and they're already laughing at their own joke. Like it's such an own goal. Like I don't even like what kind of person put this together, but they kind of missed the point of like a parody. Like you're supposed to straight face things, you know. Like I'm not saying I'm like a comedic genius by any means, so you know, I'm not saying that I'm perfect at this, but like I've done parody videos or joke videos in the past. You can check them out. Maybe I'll link them in the description. But you know, I do the best I can to not give away the gag. Like these guys are just giving away the gag like before you've even had a chance to consider what their gag is. So it's really funny. And of course they tell you here, coming soon, stay tuned for our full line of products: wood steaks, wood bikes, wood veggies, and even someday wood. Clearly none of these items are coming soon or ever. They're fake. So they're just literally you know, telling you that the whole thing is fake and whatever. And then you go down to the very bottom of the page and it tells you literally, disclaimer, our eco-friendly shirts are legit and we will be planting real trees in the ground, but please be advised that wood milk is 100% fake and completely made up. Only dairy milk is real milk, paid for by America's milk companies. And, you know, I just think it's like, it's really kind of sad and pathetic that like they can't even get like a parody thing done right. Like, it's just, it really tells you kind of all you need to know about how their fortunes are going, I think. And hopefully that is the case. I mean, I don't know. They, you know, I want the dairy industry to go under. People, you know, sometimes think, well, how can you be so heartless to the farmers and what have you? And it's like, I have compassion for people. Absolutely. That's why when I've done my videos on Februdairy in the past, one of the videos I did is the way forward. What do you tell people who are in the dairy industry or other, you know, animal exploitation industries? And in that video, I cover specifically what I recommend. And the way forward is to go to a plant-based business. So if you can't beat them, join them. If you can't compete with almond milk, soy milk, rice milk, oat milk, you know, hemp milk, whatever, you know, plant-based milk there is, which are all basically healthier for you, better for the environment. And now, as prices are coming down, actually becoming cheaper and cheaper and becoming more and more competitive with dairy milk, it's like, if you can't beat them, join them. You start making those too. You have all the same infrastructure, you know, like you can start, if you're a bottler or whatever, you can start just bottling other stuff. If you're the producer, you can start switching over, and instead of having, you know, cows on your land, well, you need to start planting some oats and, you know, et cetera, et cetera. Do something else, grow plants. Like, you don't need to farm and exploit mothers and take their babies and take their milk. So anyway, please do watch my videos on the Februdairy series. I have separate videos on the topics of the ethics of dairy consumption. I have topics on the health aspects of dairy consumption, the environmental impacts of dairy consumption, and the, you know, the way forward, as I say. So check those out and let me know, you know, if you have any questions on that. But I think I've pretty much covered most of what I wanted to say in those videos, so I don't want to repeat myself here. And then here, I just want to show you guys, when you go to this link here, the America's Milk Companies, you go to this website, which is gonnaneedmilk.com. And this is just more laughable, like outright falsities, and basically just like, at best, exaggerations of the truth, but in some cases just like either lying by omission or just outright crazy stuff. And they also have this handy dandy little 26.2, which is interesting, which is basically, it's geared, I kid you not, it's geared toward women marathon runners. So they are literally trying to encourage women to drink the product of, you know, a product that is the direct result of the exploitation of female animals who are forcibly impregnated against their will, and then have their young taken from them, and then we take their milk and give it to people. And now we're encouraging women to partake in this industry. It's just kind of unbelievable. This idea that you're going to need milk to run a marathon, you know, that's just beyond absurd. Definitely check out the video that I did about the health aspects of dairy consumption, and you'll see some of the interesting facts there. But as a runner myself, I can tell you that you absolutely do not need dairy. In fact, you will perform better from it. Most people, you know, experience better performance after switching to a plant-based diet, and specifically dairy is often associated with, like, you know, congestion and you know, all sorts of kind of like you know, allergies, gas, bloating, whatever. There's many people who are at best only mildly kind of you know, sensitive to dairy, but a lot of people are outright, you know, allergic, or, you know, just have like really bad like bloating and things like that. So it's absolutely not necessary, and in fact it's quite harmful to your performance. And then of course, again, I say there's a lot of irony here that this is geared toward women when it's a direct result of exploitation of females. So it's just kind of crazy. And then the last thing I want to cover here on their website is this 13 essential nutrients. Once this loads up here. So, you know, protein is the essential nutrient. It's like, I'm sorry, I've done so many videos about this. Please watch those older videos or just look up for yourself. You will get all the protein you need like from a plant-based diet. It's not difficult to do. It's one of the easiest things in the world to do. Every food you have that you eat contains some protein. So all the plants, all the potatoes, rice, fruits, even banana has protein in it. Like broccoli, beans, whatever, they're exceptionally high in protein. But even other foods that you wouldn't think have a lot of protein, like even just white bread or pasta or whatever, even those things have some small amounts of protein. And over the course of the day of everything you eat, it adds up, and you will get all your essential amino acids and all this kind of stuff. In fact, just watch the video I talked about in my previous video, which I refer to, which is the Are People in India Protein Deficient? I go into very thorough detail about the essential amino acids, and you can learn a lot from watching that video, so check that out if you haven't seen it. Calcium, you know, I mean, this is something I've talked about in a video where I was talking about fear-mongering that goes against parents, where they're trying to tell you that your kids are going to be deficient. Watch that. I cover calcium. Potassium, I'm pretty sure, was also covered in that video. I think I covered zinc and a few other ingredients, and minerals and essential vitamins and stuff. Vitamin D, it's like, this is just the biggest joke of them all in the list, because vitamin D is added to milk. So it's not even something that normally, like, naturally occurs in there. It's usually fortified. So you could just as easily put the vitamin D in fortified plant milk and orange juice, which they do. You can buy orange juice with vitamin D added, or you can just go out and do some gardening, which I encourage people to do anyway. It's just a laugh, you know. Vitamin B12, I've covered this in videos. You know, a lot of animals, farm animals, in fact, most farm animals, because most farm animals are factory farmed at this point in the Western world, they are fortified themselves with vitamin B because they don't get enough vitamin B. You are, instead of taking the vitamin vitamin B12 supplement directly yourself, you're filtering it first through the exploited body of another creature. It makes no sense to try to hype that as something that you would get, you know, which you could easily just supplement directly and not have the cruelty and the environmental impacts and the health consequences of taking in all the saturated fat, the cholesterol, etc. Vitamin A, I mean, eat sweet potatoes, carrots. There's like a whole host of you know, plant foods that have tons of vitamin A. You know, this is crazy. And then to think again here, they're telling you you're going to get 15% of your daily recommended value from whatever a serving of milk is. I mean, it's still not enough. You still have to get it. So just, I mean, if you just eat plant milk, or sorry, not plant milk, plant foods, you will get enough vitamin A. Use Chronometer. I've done a video telling you guys how to use Chronometer. I learned how to use it while I was making the video. It's really easy. Go check it out. You know, don't fall for these things. It's ridiculous. You know, again, riboflavin, phosphorus. I'm not even sure exactly about these. I can't even be bothered right now to go through every single one of these. That's not really the point. Many of these things are things that are added to milk as well. They are not things that are in there by default. The iodine, I mean, this is ridiculous. The iodine is in the milk because they use iodine to sterilize the teats of the poor cow, because they are constantly being milked, and usually they are infected and dirty, and they have, like, you know, pus and blood on them, and you know, urine and poop and everything. So they have like manure on you know, on the actual teats. So what they do is they just sterilize the teats before they add on the you know, the milking apparatus. That's why you're getting iodine from milk. I mean, you could just get iodine on your salt and just lightly salt your food. You're going to be fine. Selenium, you know, Brazil nuts or other things. I mean, these are all kinds of things that are just absolutely ridiculous, and they, of course, in no way tell you this. They're just telling you, like, these are some of the things you can get from milk. So you know, this is just really funny. And then I know I said this was going to be the last thing, but they do also have this milk versus other you know, kind of things. And you know, they're basically saying that see how milk compares to other beverages. So they're comparing dairy milk versus goat milk. I mean, it's like, oh man, you can click here and read the differences. I don't know if it's gonna load. Yeah. So, you know, they're talking about the health benefits. It's like, there might be some less damaging things about drinking goat's milk than dairy milk. I think fewer people are probably you know, sensitive to it. But I mean, it's just, it's ridiculous. Like, I can't even believe this. And then let's see what the other, oh, the milk is loading here. milk versus sports drinks. I remember years ago reading stuff in sports physiology. They were saying like how just doing like a milk, you know, a glass of milk with like a big spoon of, you know, cocoa powder mixed in or something, and downing that is pretty much the equivalent of any kind of like sports drinks that you would get. As far as like recharging your carbohydrates and protein intake, etc., like after a workout. But you can just as easily achieve this with plant-based alternatives. It's just totally unnecessary. Oat milk is the latest player in the non-dairy alternative world, joining other alternatives like almond, coconut, and soy. And here we can compare how they compare. They're basically saying, this is the part that stuck out to me, hold on. Oat milk provides fewer nutrients than dairy milk, and most of the nutrients it provides are fortified. That means they're added during manufacturing as opposed to occurring naturally. They also don't tell you that that's literally their list of 13 essential nutrients. A bunch of those are also added, and they're not occurring naturally. So that's completely absurd. So again, they're basically, you know, implying that the 13 essential nutrients that they list in milk are there naturally, when they're clearly not, as I've just discussed. And then they are basically telling you that, you know, those 13 are not found in the milk. They're saying that a glass of original oat milk has only 5. Why don't they list protein in the oat milk? There's protein in the oat milk as well. And to be truthful, there's not much protein in either, but they make it seem like that's an important thing. So why lie? You know, it's just, it makes no sense. So, you know, it's like, again, dairy milk has a source of complete high quality protein. It has a full mix of essential amino acids. I've talked about this. You know, this idea that plant proteins are not complete. I've covered this in one of my oldest videos, talking about the reducing your risk of dying but from heart disease and cancer. Go check that out. Go watch Dr. Greger's videos or other people's videos, or just read up on it in, you know, in proper like science, you know, nutrition magazine. You will get enough protein, or watch the video that I mentioned, you know, about the protein deficiency in India. So, you know, it's like just kind of unbelievable to me that, you know, they're highlighting these things which are at best, you know, lies of omission or exaggerations of the truth. And then they're also not telling you how much saturated fat and cholesterol you're getting in the milk versus the oat milk. They're not talking to you about the heart disease risks, about the cancer risks, about the estrogen risks. You know, there's like a whole bunch of health consequences. Make sure you watch the other video if you haven't seen it. And it's just, you know, it's just at best a distortion of the truth, but at worst just outright lies that they're propagating here. You know, again, here with the soy milk, the almond milk, a lot of times people will talk about like water usage, whereas the environmental impact of drinking dairy is one of the worst, even worse than almond milk, even worse than any of the other milks. Like, people love to try to find the little things so that they can feel better about continuing on their exploitation of animals unnecessarily. So, you know, they're basically talking again here about soy being, okay, so he says, when looking at soy milk versus milk, consider that while soy milk does have nutritional benefits, the nutrients are not the same as cow's milk. Well, no duh. I mean, of course they're not. In fact, few non-dairy milk alternatives can match the full nutrient package found naturally in milk, which includes calcium, potassium, B vitamins. Again, you know, I've said the fortification of a plant food is by no means any worse than the fortification of the poor animal that is factory farmed, and then you get your nutrients through that exploitation. It makes no sense. Again, here they're showing you the calories of the, you know, soy milk versus the low-fat milk. They're very similar. The protein is very similar. The sugar is actually much lower in the soy milk. You know, and it's very interesting, again, that they forget to tell you about saturated fat, cholesterol, etc. So it's just very interesting and extremely funny. And I think, you know, the much better website, if you want to do, like, if you want to talk about a parody and kind of like, you know, getting people riled up and whatever, is the Elwood's Organic Dog Meat website. If you haven't seen this, you know, this is clearly a vegan, you know, activist site, but they do this whole idea of this parody a lot better than the wood milk. And I just encourage people to check this out if you haven't seen it. It's somewhat amusing, and obviously, I guess, sorry, maybe I should have a trigger warning about the meat picture, but it's a parody video. It's not, they're not actually cutting up dogs and selling them, but that's what they are basically getting people to think about when they go and they purchase their next, you know, meat at the store, and really raise the question of how different is it to be raising and killing a dog for meat versus a cow versus a pig, a chicken, whatever. So anyway, that's the video. It's been, I think, long enough. Hopefully you guys found it entertaining or interesting. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in another video soon. Thanks, and thanks Leon for the comment. Bye.